Hello everyone and thank you for joining the Reconnecting series. यो आज हाम्रो 4th episode रहेको छ र अहिलेको यो Reconnecting series भनेको चाहिँ तपाई हामी जस्तै नेपाली युथलाई it is my humble attempt to reconnect us with the contemporary Nepal. आजको नेपाल कसरी फंक्सन गर्छ भनेर जान्नको लागि हाम्रो नेपाल जान्नको लागि this is my attempt. हामीले पछिल्लो हप्तामा we have talked about economics, हाम्रो कन्ट्रीको इकोनोमी कसरी फंक्सन गर्छ, एजुकेसन कसरी फंक्सन गर्छ, how remittance and migration in Nepalese abroad play a role भनेर हामीले नेपाललाई नजिकै चिन्यौं अनि thank you for such positive response. It only motivates me to continue doing what we're doing. And today we will be talking about something extremely relevant. धेरै नै सान्दर्भिक कुरा छ, the health systems of Nepal, how the health systems of Nepal work भनेर, how the public system works, private system works. किनभने solution को part हुनको लागि र creative solutions निकाल्नको लागि चाहिँ we need to understand the problem better भनेर रहेको छ this reconnecting series. And today we have Dr. Archana Amatya. उहाँसँग चाहिँ over 2 decades of experience of the medical field. She's an obstetrician and gynecologist by profession र उहाँ चाहिँ public health expert पनि हुनुहुन्छ. So उहाँसँग चाहिँ धेरै नै experience भएको हुनाले today we will be talking about the system of health in Nepal and also the general trends in the physical and mental health, शारीरिक र मानसिक स्वास्थ्यमा रहेको हालावस्थालाई चाहिँ हामी अलिकति बुझ्ने प्रयास गर्नेछौं. So let's welcome Dr. Archana Amatya. Thank you so much for joining.
Namaste. Thank you, Anushka. Thank you for inviting me. A pleasure to be here with you on Reconnecting.
So glad to have you over. So Dr. अहिले त health is the topic हैन, तर हामी चाहिँ अहिले overall writing यो health systems of Nepal लाई चाहिँ अलिकति better चिन्न खोज्छौं. किनभने धेरै युथहरु चाहिँ कति हामी आफ्नो सराउन्डिङ्सलाई मात्र अलिकति राम्रोसँग चिन्छौं र हामीले actually countryको सिस्टम कसरी चल्छ भनेर चाहिँ बुझ्न नपाएका पनि हुन्छौं. So getting into the health, what is the current scenario of the overall health system in Nepal? भनेर एकचोटी बताइदिनुस् न, the private health, public health, what does the system of Nepal look like? The number of institutions, what does it look like?
Okay, thanks Anushka. This is a very valid question. Right? Actually, when you and me were growing up, we had this thing of a unitary system. So there was only this central government who used to be the head of all these other hospitals. Right now, what has changed in a couple of years is that now we have a 3-level federal system. So that what happens? We have a central government, then we have a provincial government, and then we have municipalities and local government. The advantage of this is what I see is this has given the local government the how do I put it? They have more power and the representative of the local health needs. So they know what they want, So this has been a very important transition in the health system of the country. And right now what we have is we have patient here, then we have the various departments, Department of Health Services, then we have central hospitals, then comes the district hospitals, then finally at the local level below at the field level, health posts, and then there are certain clinics like community health units and outreach clinics. So that basically this is how the system is laid out right now.
So there's 3 levels of government, let's say central hospitals पनि छ, त्यसपछि provincial ठाउँहरुमा पनि छ, अनि त्यसपछि local levels मा पनि छ हैन. हामीले यसरी सोच्दै हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ how many private health institutions do we have, अनि त्यसपछि how many public hospitals अथवा health institutions do we have? What does the proportion look like? Majority चाहिँ के छ त हाम्रो?
Actually, I was going through the statistics before we set up this call, and it was interesting to see that according to the latest statistics, we have about 25% would visit a private clinic if they needed some kind of health advice. Another
हजुर
25% would go to the pharmacies, which is so very popular. They have a
हजुर
drugstore outside and a small clinic inside, which may or may not necessarily be led by a medical doctor. Or auxiliary health worker, different categories of the health worker, because we would not get a doctor if we go to the rural areas. And
हजुर
another percent would visit the government hospitals. So I was just looking at the statistics to see what was the increment in the private sector. So if we look from 1919, where we had only 16 private hospitals, so in 2014 it one, and right now we are almost in four digits. So that's a huge transition from from starting of a private hospital from the early 90s to what we stand right now.
सो 90s मा चाहिँ हामीले यहाँले भन्नुभयो जम्मा 16वटा चाहिँ प्राइभेट हेल्थ
Yes,
इन्स्टिट्युसन्स
right.
हुन्थ्यो 16 16 अनि आज चाहिँ
16.
इट्स इन द थाउजन्ड्स प्राइभेट इन्स्टिट्युट्स
It's in
चाहिँ
thousands. Yes, right.
हजुर अनि तपाईँले 25% एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङ फ्याक्ट लिएर आउनुभयो बिकज वी स्पोक अबाउट द प्राइभेट एन्ड द पब्लिक सेक्टर भनौँ न अफ प्राइभेट हस्पिटल कि पब्लिक हस्पिटल बट देयर इज दिस एरिया अफ जहाँ चाहिँ हामी फार्मेसीमा चाहिँ जाने एकदमै ट्रेन्ड नै रहेको छ होइन हामीलाई अनि कतिजना त हामी सेल्फ डायग्नोज पनि गर्छौँ कि मलाई यो भएको छ मलाई ठ्याक्कै यो औषधि दिइदिनुहोस् हाम्रो कति ओभर द काउन्टर र प्रिस्क्राइब्ड मेडिसिन भन्ने पनि नरहेको हुनाले पनि कति प्रब्लम्स आउन सक्छ एन्ड वाट डु द नम्बर्स अफ त्यो ग्रोथ यहाँले इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुरा गर्नुभयो in public health institutions चाहिँ कस्तो रहेको छ त
Well, actually, because the public health sector has also become very strong, they provide numerous services, and because of the federal structure right now, we have provincial hospitals and we have the district hospitals and municipalities below. So it's like people do have a lot of faith in the sector as well, because of the fact that one thing is the services, the cost is minimum. They would the doctors over there, but at the same time, having said this, because of the fact that private sector it's easier to get access immediately to whoever you want to meet. People do have a kind of thoughts that if you go to a private sector, you might get to meet a doctor who would be able to give you more time, you get quality of services, which may or may not be true all the time. So, this kind of but because of Hamirko country, because we don't have doctors and sometimes not even nurses, that is why the system of going to a pharmacy and getting drugs over the counter by just symptomatic, symptoms is quite popular.
हजुर अनि यही हामीले राइट्सको कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हैन आई एम अ नेपाली सिटिजन व्हाट आर माई बेसिक हेल्थ राइट्स जस्तो मैले पब्लिक हस्पिटल भिजिट गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ के चाहिँ मैले फ्री सर्भिसेस पाउनु पर्ने हो किनभने लाइक यु सेड हामी यसरी अब ग्रो अप भइदियो अनफर्चुनेटली भनौँ न वी वर वान अफ द फर्चुनेट काइन्ड्स आई वुड डेफिनेटली वाज कि आफूलाई केही सनसनाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ प्राइभेट डक्टरको एक्सेस थियो होइन त्यति गर्न सक्ने क्षमता थियो तर त्यो नहुँदाखेरि चाहिँ एक्चुली हामीले एज अ सिटिजन अफ नेपाल के फ्री सर्भिसेस चाहिँ पाउँछौँ यतिसम्म इज इट लिमिटेड बाई द अमाउन्ट द्याट यु हेभ टु स्पेन्ड जस्तो कति कन्सल्टेसन्स चाहिँ खासमा फ्री पाउनु पर्ने हो कि मैले एज अ नेपाली सिटिजन चाहिँ मैले जहिले पनि पब्लिक हस्पिटल चाहिँ फ्रीमा जुनै पनि ट्रिटमेन्टको लागि जान पाउने हो कि हाउ डु आई नो विच ट्रिटमेन्ट्स आई क्यान गेट फर फ्री एट अ पब्लिक हस्पिटल इन नेपाल
Okay. Yeah, that's a very important question, eh? After 2071, we've had this national health policy, which was revised after many years. And I have the list of what is there in the national health policy because I can't memorize everything. Couple of things which is very, very important. Your national health policy. Yeah. Every citizen shall have the right for free basic health services from the state, and no one shall be deprived of emergency health services. When I say this, in your free basic health services, government ko, or health post ma, you would be getting 1, 2, 3, 4 services. If you go above in a district, you will be getting X number of services. So government basic health services, so if you go to those centers to get any particular, you should not be deprived of that. So that's one very important thing which has been stated in the national health policy. And अर्को कुरा चाहिँ के भनेको छ भने every person shall have the right to information about her or his medical treatment. So, if I go and I have all the right to ask the doctor or the health professional, whoever is treating me, to give me every information, what is going to happen, what kind of medication, what are the side effects, the prognosis, etc. And so another important thing is that every citizen shall have the equal right. So, if I'm one of the Janjati, or I'm a person in the hills who's a Brahmin, everybody shall have equal access to health services. So this is a very important document which has brought about a lot of changes.
हजुर सो 2071
And
सालको
besides
चाहिँ
this, yes.
सो 2071
Yeah,
सालको
please.
नेसनल पोलिसीले चाहिँ एकदमै की एलिमेन्ट चाहिँ के देखाएको छ भनेदेखि हामी सबैले एकदमै फेयर ट्रिटमेन्ट निष्पक्ष रूपमा चाहिँ हामीले स्वास्थ्य सुविधाहरू चाहिँ उपलब्ध गर्न सक्छौँ र के स्वास्थ्य सुविधाहरू चाहिँ हामीले उपलब्ध गर्न सक्छौँ हामीलाई उपलब्ध छ भनेर चाहिँ त्यो पोलिसीले तोकेर नै दिएको छ कि इमर्जेन्सी सर्भिसेस विशेष गरी आकस्मिक सेवा चाहिँ कसैलाई पनि बाढ हुने चाहिँ छैन भनेर आई थिङ्क द्याट इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु नो एज वेल अनि यही कुराहरू आउँदाखेरि डक्टर अब हामी प्राइभेट र पब्लिक सेक्टरमा बिएड क्लिनिक्स होइन बिएड हेल्थ पोस्ट हामी एउटा एकदमै स्टार्क डिस्प्यारिटी चाहिँ देख्छौँ जस्तो अहिलेको टाइममा पनि हामी कति अब अहिले यही टाइममा पनि भन्नुहोस् न हामीले त्यो एकदमै मेकसिफ्ट स्ट्रेचर्समा soon to be mothersले pregnant women, expecting women being transported एकदमै नै मेकसिफ्ट स्ट्रेचर्समा पनि देखिरहेका हुन्छौँ होइन इभन टुडे सो इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर त्यहाँ पुग्न नसकेको हामीले एजुकेसनकोमा पनि कुरा गऱ्यौँ कि धेरै यो सपोर्टिङ इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स भनेको त्यही त हो नि होइन बाटोघाटो राम्रो नभइदिँदाखेरि एम्बुलेन्स कसरी चलाउने त्यस्ता कुराहरू त आउँछन् तर इज द्याट जस्ट द मेन कज बिहाइन्ड यो प्राइभेट र पब्लिक सेक्टर अफ सर्भिसेसमा यति स्टार्क डिफरेन्सेस भएको बिकज अब even the project site that we're working in Sindhupalchok, एकदमै नै डेभलपमेन्ट भइरहेको छ but the nearest health post is about 1.5 hour walk away and त्यो पनि well staffed चाहिँ भएको छैन what do we need out there? Do we need more budget? What do we need on an individual level? What can we push on policy level? भनेर चाहिँ what do you have to say about that gap that exists?
Yeah, that's so important, because well, I believe, if you ask my personal opinion, I think it's a multi-dimensional problem. It's not just one particular problem which could lead to the current scenario. For example, of course, poverty, low education, difficult geographical terrain. These are the normal things which leads to such a wide disparity. But nevertheless, in spite of that, what the government has done is they have according to the population, so for so many people, एउटा health post हुनुपर्ने. For another number of population, there should be a district hospital. And in that district hospital, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 services are available. Let me give you a very good example. For example, if we have a population of 50,000 or so, then that area should have at least one birthing center in a radius of 2 kilometers. Okay? So that means, at least women within 2 kilometers can reach that place. So only basic services the पायो नि.
यो चाहिँ गाइडलाइन्स किसमा तोकिएको हुन्छ डाक्टर यो गाइडलाइन्स हामीले कता चाहिँ हेर्न सक्छौं?
Yeah, it's like this. Our national health policy is very broad. And national health policy को भित्र चाहिँ अब there अब safe motherhood policy भन्ने छ, reproductive health rights, there's abortion policy, like this different kind of policies also. So and basic healthcare package छ. So accordingly services हरु सबै कुन health फेसिलिटीमा कस्तो किसिमको सर्भिसेस अवेलेबल छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ एकदम क्लियरली हाम्रो बेसिक हेल्थ केयर प्याकेजले तोकेको छ. त्यस्तै गरेर अब यो सुरक्षित मातृत्वको लागि के हुनुपर्छ, हाम्रो रिप्रोडक्टिभ हेल्थ राइट्सले के कुरा बताउँछ, द्याट्स अन्डर द सेफ मदरहुड. सो अकॉर्डिंगली टु व्हाट काइन्ड अफ सर्भिसेस वी आर ट्राइङ टु गेट, it's under that. And all of this is available on हाम्रो मिनिस्ट्रीको हेल्थ वेबसाइटमा.
That is some really good information. म चाहिँ यता नोट्स नै लेखिरहेको छु because this is an attempt to learn भनेर म त एकदमै नोट्स नै लेखिरहेको छु because we didn't know कि यति क्ल्यारिटीसँग पनि छ होइन because if हामी त्यही एरियाको नभए पनि if we know of an area कि यो ठाउँको यति पपुलेसन छ र मलाई थाहा छ कि सर्टन पपुलेसन अनुसार चाहिँ हेल्थ फेसिलिटिज अभाइलेबल हुनुपर्छ भने चाहिँ द्याट क्यान बी अ भेरी गुड फर्स्ट स्टेप कि हामीले चाहिँ रेलेभेन्ट स्टेक होल्डर्समा को चाहिँ व्यक्ति विशेषकोमा जानुपर्ने हो अथवा संस्थाकोमा जानुपर्ने हो त्यसरी पहल गर्न सुरु गर्नको लागि चाहिँ दिस क्यान बी अ ग्रेट स्टार्टिङ पोइन्ट. सो हामी नेपालमा मेन हेल्थ इस्युज देख्दाखेरि चाहिँ नो इट्स अ मिम नै भइसक्यो कि अब ग्यास्ट्रिक नभइकन नेपाली हुँदैन राष्ट्रिय रोग छ भनेर म पनि एकदमै पीडित छु होइन. बट बसाइड्स द्याट इन टर्म्स अफ फिजिकल हेल्थ बिकज आई लाइक टु टक अबाउट मेन्टल हेल्थ चाहिँ छुट्टै नै होइन हाम्रो मानसिक स्वास्थ्यको बारेमा फिजिकल हेल्थमा चाहिँ वाट आर द मोस्ट कमन प्रब्लम्स सिन इन नेपालिज even हामीले आफूसँगै लिएर विदेशमा पनि लिएर जाने what sort of trends exist in the health of the Nepalese आजकोमा नेपालीकोमा?
Okay, all right. But generally, I'm just quoting one Nepal burden of disease one, 2017. There was this huge study to see that what are the main diseases. So according to that, of morbidity, that is illness and death. Sabanda highest ranking is ischemic heart disease. So that's a cardiac problem. Then after that are lung diseases, respiratory tract infection, followed by diarrheal disease, road traffic injuries, and stroke and diabetes. So this is quite alarming because these are most of them are non-communicable diseases which can be prevented. Not exactly prevented, but it can be less. The burden can be lessened.
The lifestyle diseases, yes,
right, exactly. And I just wanted to add that another important thing is, why do women die? Why women? Where do they die? Well, how do newborns die? This is also something very important for us to understand, because for me as an obstetrician, if a woman dies by pregnancy, which is a physiological condition, everybody die by pregnancy or pregnancy related complications because it's a physiological condition, right? But unfortunately, in our country, we do have many maternal deaths. We're going down south. We have reduced a lot since 1998, and also our newborn death. But having said this, to reach the Sustainable Development Goals, we still have a long way to go. And interestingly, I just wanted to quote one particular study which shows that a lot of pregnant women die, of course, during pregnancy, during delivery, and postpartum. The maximum number of deaths after delivery till 48 hours. So that tells us a lot of things. It tells us that I'm like also but that is not it. The first 48 hours are very, very crucial. And another important thing is women are dying at home. We're doing this maternal death review every month, but nevertheless, we don't have a record of that. But still, there are a lot of women who are delivering after coming to the hospital. So this tells us two things. One thing, they came too late. If you come too late, where I can't save you, obviously the woman is going to die. Another important thing which tells us, this implicates it, that are our health facilities not well equipped in terms of commodities, medicines, instruments, or human resources, so that they come to the hospital and eventually die. So this is so very important to understand when we are talking about the current scenario.
So maternal health and newborn childrenको health पनि it is एउटा separate नै sector नै रहेको छ जुन चाहिँ नेपालमा अझै पनि address हुन बाँकी नै छ किनभने especially communities जहाँ चाहिँ health facilities राम्रोसँग पुग्न सकेको छैन त्यहाँ सबभन्दा धेरै सफर गर्ने भनेर अब हावापानी राम्रो भएको कारणले धेरै चीजहरु त त्यहाँ prevent होला हैन त्यहाँ stamina पनि better होला they survive the survival instinct त आउँछ तर maternal health care को कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ even stats record गर्दाखेरि successful birth भन्दा गर्दाखेरि आफ्टर 48 आवर्स धेरै चिज भएको हुँदो रहेछ भनेर द्याट वी नो अबाउट नेपाल. That is about the physical health. A very big aspect of health is mental health and well-being पनि है जुन चाहिँ we are getting better where there's so many people speaking up about it हामी चाहिँ finally mental health मानसिक स्वास्थ्यलाई पनि एकदमै एउटा important element को रूपमा लिन थालेछौँ र कति हदसम्म त त्यो physical health सँग एकदमै नै correlated पनि हुँदो रहेछ मानसिक स्वास्थ्य ले चाहिँ शारीरिक स्वास्थ्यसँग पनि एकदमै नै सम्बन्ध नै राखेको हुन्छ भनेर पनि देखिरहेका छौँ. बट देयर स्टिल आर ट्याबुज. अब यसको बारेमा हामी धेरै नै कुरा त गर्न सक्छौँ तर मलाई सबभन्दा क्युरियस लागेको क्वेसन चाहिँ डक्टर वी सफर हैन. फर्स्टमा चाहिँ आइड लाइक यु टु रियली एज अ मेडिकल पर्सन एङ्जाइटी भनेको के हो, डिप्रेसन भनेको के हो, हाउ इज इट डिफरेन्ट फ्रम स्याडनेस जस्तो. बिकज मैले अब आफूले I have experienced anxiety up to a certain level, right now. And त्यसमा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ anything you feel uncomfortable, किनभने feelings को त thermometer त हुँदैन. So if you feel uncomfortable, that is a valid reason. भनेर चाहिँ हामी कुरा गर्छौँ. So what would be the definitions of anxiety versus depression versus just sorrow? And at what point should we seek help?
Actually, I just try to put it as simple because the medical definitions for all these three terminologies are quite different. Right? About, when we're talking about sadness, that could be negative, right? Because, if I feel sad because my cup is broken and another person may not feel sad. So it could be subjective. Right? And anxiety, it's also kind of subjective. It could be said like for example, I'm very anxious to be at some place ahead of time, and another person you might not be anxious at the same time, right? So that kind of demarcation is subjective. It also depends on personality type. Like if you're A-type personality, you could it could be very. It could be very, what shall I put it? You could be very worried unnecessarily. And anxiety sometimes, it's good to be anxious at certain things, but too much of anxiety is also not. And another thing, depression is when you have certain changes in the way you think, which may or may not necessarily be attributed to what your exact behavior is. We tell one. अब म त डिप्रेस भएँ भनेर भन्छ my favorite mug broke and I get depressed, which is not actually depression. So sometimes I think these terms are used very synonymously in the wrong place.
So यही कुराहरु गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ what I'd really like to say our audience, because it is especially targeted to people in say आफ्नो surroundings, मेरो contemporaries हैन, the use of Nepal भन्छौँ हामी नेपाल भित्र बाहिर बस्नु भएको. A few things that we commonly hear is मलाई कस्तो I don't feel well. मलाई के भयो थाहा छैन तर मलाई ठीक चाहिँ लागिरहेको छैन मलाई थाहा छ भनेदेखि डक्टर प्लिज करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम मिस्टेकन हैन. फर्स्ट इट्स भ्यालिड कि तपाईलाई नराम्रो तपाईलाई खुसी लागिरहेको छैन भनेदेखि हामीले मलाई किन खुसी लागिरहेको छैन मलाई त सबै चीज पुगिरहेको छ. अनि साथीभाइले पनि कस्तो भन्दिनुहुन्छ भनेदेखि तँलाई डिप्रेसन किन हुनु पर्यो हैन तँलाई त सबै चीज पुगिरहेको छ. सो त्यो केही चीज अपुग हुनाले चाहिँ डिप्रेस्ड अथवा मेन्टल हेल्थ सिचुएशन्स आउने नआउने चाहिँ होइन. इट इज एन एक्चुअल कन्डिसन. इट इज यो हामीले बारम्बार भनि नै रहेका छौँ तर यसलाई रिपिट गर्न पनि जरुरी छ. इट्स अ सेम एज सेइङ तपाईलाई किन डायबिटिज भयो, तपाईँ त यस्तो हुने खाने ठाउँको मान्छे भने खान पाइरहेछ भने ठाउँमा घुम्न पाइरहेछ कसरी डायबिटिज हुन सक्यो राइट भने जस्तै नै हो. मन लाग्दैन आफूलाई पनि इलनेस होस् भनेर हैन. तर त्यस्तो गर्दिनाले चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने झन् त्यो घाउमा नुन छरेको जस्तो हुन्छ कि हो त नि मलाई त सबै चीज पुगेको छ मान्छेहरु कस्तो खाना सुद्धा नपाइरहेको ठाउँमा मलाई त सबै चीज पुग्दा पनि म डिप्रेस्ड हुने भनेर अझ हामी त्यसलाई क्योर गर्नको सट्टा त्यसलाई चाहिँ अझ हामी दुःख दिइरहेको हुन्छौँ. सो सीक हेल्प है हामीले यसलाई हेल्प चाहिँ सिक गर्नु जरुरी छ. सो यो हेल्प सिक गर्ने कुरामा चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ तपाईले पहिला पनि आफ्नो राइटमा कुरा गर्नु भएको थियो कि एज अ सिटिजन अफ नेपाल वी हैव द राइट टु नो अबाउट आवर ट्रिटमेन्ट भनेर. तर यो राइटको कुरामा आउँदाखेरि स्पेशली अमङ द यंगस्टर्स हैन यो मेन्टल हेल्थ इश्यूज भनौँ न सिचुएसन्स अथवा कन्सर्न्स जिज्ञासाहरू चाहिँ जुन ग्रुपमा आउँछन् हामी युजुअली आफ्नो पेरेन्ट्ससँग जान्छौँ होइन कन्फिडेन्सियालिटीको बारेमा चाहिँ नि कि जुन चाहिँ एउटा डक्टर पेसेन्ट कन्फिडेन्सियालिटी हुन्छ त्यसमा चाहिँ सायद हामी यस्तो कम्युनिटीमा हुर्केर पनि होला कि एभ्रीबडी नोज एभ्री वान होइन मैले सेयर गरिदिएँ भनेदेखि चाहिँ कसैले थाहा पाइहाल्ला कि आफ्नो पर्सनल लाइफको बारेमा त्यो ट्याबु अबाउट बिइङ अ मेन्टल हेल्थ पेसेन्ट त छुट्टा छँदै नै छ होइन छुट्टै छँदै नै छ तर त्यसबाहेक पनि सायद मलाई बुलिङ भएको होला हरासमेन्ट भएको होला अथवा मैले कसैलाई सेयर गर्न नचाहने कुराले चाहिँ मलाई कज गरिरहेको होला मलाई थाहा छ कि मलाई हेल्प चाहिसक्यो होइन आई निड टु गो टु अ काउन्सिलर अर साइकोलोजिस्ट अर साइकाट्रिस्ट भनेदेखि पनि कसले थाहा पाउला भन्ने डरले पनि नगएको हुनसक्छ सो यो यसलाई चाहिँ कसरी भन्नुहुन्छ हाउ डु वी डेभलप दिस फेथ विथ आवर हेल्थ प्रोफेसनल्स चाहिँ हाउ डु यु सी द्याट इस्यु अफ कन्फिडेन्सियालिटी किनभने आई नो द्याट अमङ्स्ट आवर कन्टेम्पोरेरिज त्यो चाहिँ एक्जिस्ट गर्छ कि हेल्प चाहिन्छ भनेर थाहा भइसक्दा पनि अब एकदमै सिम्पल कि मामबाबालाई भन्दैला भन्ने डरले नै पनि कतिजना हामी कति चिजहरू गर्दैनौँ
I agree with you totally, and you're right totally. Right? अब कस्तो किसिमको मैले देखेको चाहिँ कस्तो छ भने because all these problems are multidimensional. Okay, it's not just one thing. Emotional, it could be economical, it could be your family structure. Why you have all these problems? And number thing is people, even youngsters and other age group of people are like they think that all of these things which you mentioned are not psychiatric problems. It's not a disease as such. It's a condition. You go into depression, which is a condition. You have anxiety disorder, but there are psychiatric problems like, for example, schizophrenia, dysfunction, bipolar disorder. So all problems are not psychiatric problems, right? Okay. That's very important because unless psychiatrist when you're mad. That kind of thing. Only when you have, pagal bhayepachi concept is still there in the society. And you even in all this 21st century, we're still not able to remove it. That's one thing. Why people still have a kind of to open up is they think about it'll become a social problem if I have some kind of psychological problem, if somebody about it, my whole family will become a taboo. My younger sister might not get married. We might not be outcast from the society. That taboo remains. And also important thing is people also think that if you go to a doctor for any kind of problem, you might have to take something, a medicine which might be a lifelong. You might get addicted. Without that, I might not be able to function. So two kind of stigma remains, and these are the main reasons why people are not opening up and going to seek help.
हजुर but as a medical practitioner I'm sure हामीले यो assurance चाहिँ दिन सक्छौँ होइन त कि हामी एन्करेज गर्छौँ हामी के भन्छौँ भनेदेखि यदि तपाईँलाई गाह्रो भइरहेको छ भनेदेखि आवाज चाहिँ उठाउनु पर्यो भनेर गो सिक हेल्प भनेर जुन चाहिँ भन्छौँ नि हामी वी निड टु ह्याभ द्याट कन्फिडेन्स इन आवर हेल्थ प्र्याक्टिसनर्स होइन त बिकज देव टेकन एन ओथ अनि हामीले चाहिँ त्यो बिलिभ गर्नुपर्छ कि हाम्रो इन्फर्मेसन चाहिँ कन्फिडेन्सियल रहन्छ भनेर र हाम्रो आफ्नो राइट्स पनि छ त्यो कन्फिडेन्सियालिटी मेन्टेन भएन भने चाहिँ बिकज आई नो कि यो कन्फिडेन्सियालिटीको इस्युले नै गर्दाखेरि हामी कति चाहिँ ओपन अप हुन चाहन्नौ सो आफ्नो पेशेन्ट डक्टर प्राइभेसी मेन्टेन गर्न चाहिँ इट्स समथिङ द्याट वी क्यान डेफिनेटली रेज र त्यसलाई नै बेस बनाएर इफ यु डु निड हेल्प or इभन इफ यु आर नट स्योर जचाउँदाखेरि त केही भएन नि होइन त्यस्तोको लागि त्यही भएर चाहिँ इट इज रियली इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु टेक द्याट स्टेप if we are suffering bhanera. Thank you so much for your insights, doctor, and we are live on YouTube on our Facebook page but it's a live house. So I'm just going to take a few audience questions. Thank you for everyone. Thank you to everyone who is watching us live aile. So I'm going to take a few questions from हाम्रो Facebook page ko group jaha chai hami धेरै time zones बाट join bhayiraheka huन्छौं usually. So I'm just going to find some audience questions. Okay, here we go. So we have Pratibha Girili चाहिँ भन्नुहुन्छ भनेदेखि anxiety or depression चाहिँ धेरैजनालाई postpartum भन्छ if I'm not mistaken. Deliver गर्ने बित्तिकै पनि हुन्छ. How can you create an awareness program in this topic? I think that is very very relevant. Some of my cousins who are studying medicine ले भन्नुहुन्थ्यो कि यस्तो आमा भएर बच्चा मन नपर्ने कस्तो खालको आमा होला भन्ने आउँछ. But postpartum depression is a real thing, doctor. What do you have to say about that? Most people may not know about it कि it's actual medical condition हो भनेर.
I'm sure you Anushka heard of the term called postpartum blues. You know, it's a condition where it's a normal condition, right? It's not like कस्तो हुन्छ भने you are becoming a parent, a mother, right? And then you have a child, a newborn to take care of you, right? And then you know, being accustomed to this environment of becoming single mother, you have a child. You have to continue with your work. You have to, you know, look at your family, your husband. Probably you have to go back to work. So you know, suddenly this transition in your life causes a lot of disturbances on the way you see it, right? Then for that, a lot of people go into depression, especially in the postpartum period, because you're trying to get adapted. That is why हामीले के भन्छन् postpartum period मा अहिले हामीले counseling गर्दाखेरि what we say is we're telling the mother, we're also telling the family members, the mother-in-law, the husband to support her, because this woman has gone through a 9-month period, a very difficult period of delivery, and then now she's coping, taking care of the baby. She hasn't had enough sleep. There's so many taboos. I think, you know, the only way we combat with postpartum depression is getting the support of the whole family, so that, you know, life comes back to normal and you are taken as a normal person.
So एकदमै relevant question गर्ने भयो प्रतिभाजी. Thank you कि postpartum depression पनि हुने गर्छ, and it has nothing to do with you being a good or a bad mother. हैन, यो भनेको एउटा medical condition हो र यसमा झन् family को support हुनु चाहिँ एकदमै नै जरुरी छ. So this thing exists भनेर चाहिँ. Now I'm going to try and take some questions from the YouTube family र यता चाहिँ हामीसँग जापानबाट अडियन्सले जोइन गर्नुभएको हुनुहुन्छ. अलिकति सेन्सर गरेर पढ्नुपर्ने हुन्छ कहिलेकाहीँ यता कमेन्ट्स, बिकज झापाबाट पनि आछ, हाम्रो नेपालभित्र पनि धेरै ठाउँबाट जोइन गरिरहनु भएको छ. कसैलाई मेरो ड्रेस यति एयरलाइन्सको जस्तो लागिरहेको छ. So there's not really many questions out here YouTube मा चाहिँ. Please हामीलाई केही पनि questions यहाँहरुको related छ about the health system in Nepal. यहाँहरुलाई के लागिरहेको छ भने do shout it out. हामी चाहिँ Facebook page र YouTube मा चाहिँ live छौं. And while we have some audience questions coming, I think एकदमै ठुलो धेरै नै learnings चाहिँ भएको छ र हामीले आफ्नो public sector मा पनि confidence चाहिँ अलिकति देखाउनु नै पर्छ जस्तो पनि लाग्छ हैन त. किनभने हामी कतिचोटि सुन्छौं पनि नि कि बाहिर ट्रिटमेन्ट गर्न जाँदाखेरि पनि नेपाल भित्रै जुन चाहिँ तपाईले मेन्सन गर्नुभयो क्लिनिक्सहरुबाट पनि धेरै राम्रो सर्भिस भनौं कि डायग्नोसिस चाहिँ आइ नै रहेको हुन्छ. सो द मेडिकल कन्डिसन इन नेपाल खासमा एक्सपर्टिज हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर हेर्ने एक्सपर्टिज हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ we're doing pretty good जस्तो लाग्छ हैन डाक्टर?
Yes, yeah, right. No, I think we're doing a wonderful job. You know, the Ministry of Health and Population ले चाहिँ अहिले जसरी structure गरेछ, the human resources we've been developing, and all these very clear guidelines, you know, what kind of services are available, you know, for her. I mean, everything has been laid out. Of course, you know, there are everywhere, and it takes time. And in medicine, everything not black or white. There are a lot of gray zones, you know. So, you know, this is what to me, and don't ever go there. Okay. But, you know, there are success stories also, and it's always good to share. I always tell my friends, you know, okay, you know, of course, the media and sometimes people, they tend to share negative things, but we rarely see success stories being shared, which is very unfortunate. And it's so very important to build a trust, for the community to build a trust in public sector as well.
Absolutely. It's an interesting question आएको छ हाम्रो Facebook live हेर्नु भएको रामकृष्ण कायस्ताज्यूबाट चाहिँ कि सिन्स हामी मेन्टल हेल्थको कुरा गर्छौं, फिजिकल पनिसमेन्ट दिने ट्रेन्ड चाहिँ हाम्रो नेपालमा धेरै रहेको छ, बी थ्रु पेरेन्ट्स और टिचर्स। त्यसलाई चाहिँ वाट सोर्ट अफ इम्प्याक्ट यसले चाहिँ राख्दै गर्छ भनेर लाग्छ। आई थिङ्क यो साउथ इस्ट एसियन कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ कमेडी कन्टेन्ट पनि बन्न जान्छ कहिलेकाहीँ कि हामी त हुन्छ नि कुटाइ खाएर हुर्केको भनेर। अफ कोर्स इट्स अ वे अफ ब्रिङिङ अप एज वेल। Are you reading it as well? हजुर कति चाहिँ भन्छन् नि कि तपाईहरु खुब वेस्टर्न हुनुभयो कि अब यस्तो यस्तो कुरा गर्नुपर्ने, हाम्रो जमानामा त दुई झाप्पड लगाएपछि ठिक हुन्थ्यो भन्ने कुरा आउँछ हैन। त्यसमा चाहिँ मलाई अगेन आफ्नो एक्सपिरियन्स शेयर गर्छु। आई वाज जस्ट ह्याभिङ दिस भेरी क्यान्डिड कन्भर्सेसन विथ माई मदर एक्चुअली कि मलाई चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ भने खुर्सानी जस्तो हो कि जस्तो मेरो जिउलाई कोही मान्छेलाई पिरो पच्दैन, त्यही खुर्सानी तपाईँलाई खायो भने बढी पिरो लाग्छ। कोही मान्छेलाई त्यही खुर्सानी कहिलेकाहीँ नखाइ हुँदैन, कोही मान्छेलाई त्यो खुर्सानी खायो भने मुख मात्र पिरो हुन्छ, तेस्रो मान्छेलाई त्यो खायो भने पेट सेटै खराब दिनौसम्म होला। सो यस्तो ट्रिटमेन्टहरू भनेको चाहिँ मान्छे हेरिकन पनि हुनुपर्छ। सो हामीले सबैजनालाई त्यही खुर्सानी ठुसाएर पनि हुँदैन र कहिलेकाहीँ त्यो आफूलाई त्यो खुर्सानीले भनौँ न त्यो ट्रिटमेन्ट अथवा कसैको केही व्यवहारले कस्तो फरक पार्छ भनेर आफू रियलाइज गरिसकेपछि चाहिँ बोथ पार्टिज इन्भल्भ, बी पेरेन्ट टिचर, बी पेरेन्ट स्टुडेन्ट, पेरेन्ट चाइल्ड, टिचर स्टुडेन्ट भयो भने चाहिँ त्यो कन्डिसन त्यो सिचुएसन चाहिँ बुझ्नुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ। व्हाट डु यु ह्याभ टु से अबाउट द्याट? Can you hear me, Doctor?
I lost you for a couple of seconds.
ए हजुर, आई वाज सेइङ कि जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो यो फिजिकल पनिसमेन्टको कुरा आउँछ नि कहिलेकाहीँ कन्टेन्ट बन्न जान्छ, कमेडी कन्टेन्ट पनि बन्न जान्छ कि हामी त कुटाइ खाएर हुर्केको भन्ने कुरा। त्यसलाई चाहिँ मैले के अनालोजीसँग जोडेको थिएँ भनेदेखि खुर्सानी खाएको जस्तो हो होइन। कसैलाई त्यो खुर्सानी कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिन्छ खानको लागि, कसैको लागि चाहिँ साँच्चीकै नै सिस्टम नै खराबै हुन्छ नि त, हेल्थै खराब हुन्छ नि त होइन कसैलाई त्यो खुर्सानी खाइसकेपछि। सो त्यो इफ इट इज अ पेरेन्ट बिङ द खुर्सानी दिने मान्छे एन्ड द चाइल्ड अर द स्टुडेन्ट बिङ द खुर्सानी खाने मान्छे, चाहिँ एकअर्कालाई कसरी अफेक्ट गर्दैछ भन्ने कुरा बुझेर नै अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ। यति पनि मलाई खाएको पच्छ भन्दैमा कुनै पनि कुरा एडभाइस पनि होइन, कुनै पनि कुरा त्यस्तो फोर्स चाहिँ गर्नु हुँदैन। यसले के इम्प्याक्ट पारिरहेको छ भनेर चाहिँ एकदमै कसियस हुनुपर्छ। बिकज जुन इम्प्याक्ट तपाईँलाई परेको थियो एज अ चाइल्ड, तपाईँको बच्चाको अथवा तपाईँले जोसँग डिल गरिरहनु भएको छ उहाँको सराउन्डिङ्स, अपब्रिङिङ, कन्डिसन, प्रि एक्जिस्टिङ कन्डिसन, बडीली फङ्सन नै फरक हुनसक्छ र इट माइट ह्याभ भेरी भेरी एडभर्स इफेक्ट्स भनेर चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ। What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I agree with you totally. We were brought up in an era where, teachers are really पिट्यो, एक थप्पड हान्यो या चाहिँ अब होमवर्क गरेन भने अरू किसिमको physical punishment दिने. But we were the lucky ones where the impact was not much, right? Because I've heard so many stories जहाँ चाहिँ यो टिचरले पनिसमेन्ट दिएर like long-term impact. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि कस्तो हुन्छ नि, once you have this kind of punishment, you develop a kind of antagonist attitude towards your teachers, or towards anybody to that accord. Yes, exactly. And yes, right. And it is very difficult once you get this antagonist attitude to change, especially in very young children, because they are immature, they're still young, they look up to their teachers, and when something like this happens, it has a very bad impact on their mental status and their health as such.
But
unfortunately, things have changed these days, and yes.
Absolutely. I think the last question that we like to take is from Sonia Dahal, josle chai hamle Facebook Live ma sodhnu bhayeko cha ki how can we prevent mental health problems? Now, कति कुराहरु हामी प्रिभेन्ट गर्नको लागि त धेरै कुरा गर्न सक्छौं, तर इट्स नट समथिङ दैट यु क्यान इराडिकेट। यसको अगेन्स्ट भ्याक्सिन बनाउने भनेर हुँदैन हैन। वी लिभ एट अ टाइम जुन चाहिँ एकदमै कम्पिटिटिभ छ। आज तपाईले इभन एउटा नयाँ आइडिया आयो, समवन समवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड हैज अलरेडी एक्जिक्युटेड इट। कम्पिटिसन कति धेरै लाग्छ। सोशल मिडिया खोल्यो, आफ्नो एजको मान्छे अथवा आफूभन्दा धेरै यङ मान्छेले कति धेरै सक्सेस पाइरहेको देख्छौं। त्यसपछि अल अफ दिस फिलिङ्स स्टार्ट क्रिपिङ अप, अनि मलाई त स्याड लाग्नु हुँदैन भनेर लाग्छ, तर स्याड लाग्छ। सो कति ठाउँमा चाहिँ यस्तो सिचुएसनहरु प्रिभेन्टेबल हुँदैन, त्यसलाई कसरी ट्याकल गर्ने भनेर चाहिँ हामीले हेर्नुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ अनि त्यो गर्नको लागि मेन्टल हेल्थ प्रब्लम्स अभोइड अथवा
Yes.
इराडिकेट भन्दा पनि आफ्नो लाइफस्टाइल नै हो त्यो चेन्ज गर्नको लागि चाहिँ इफ पोल्युसन बढ्दै गइरहेको छ भनेदेखि वाट क्यान यू डू फ्रम योर साइड मेबी यू क्यान प्लान्ट मोर ट्रिज आफ्नो लाइफस्टाइलमा चाहिँ चेन्जेस लिएर आउन सक्नुहुन्छ माइन्डफुलनेस र मेडिटेसन भनेको देयर भेरी कुल वर्ड्स हामी एकदमै धेरै सेयर पनि गर्छौँ अन सोसियल मिडिया एन्ड दे एब्सोल्युटली हेल्प आफूलाई के वर्क गर्छ भनेर चाहिँ हेर्नुहोस् भनेर जस्तो लाग्छ बी माइन्डफुल र आफूलाई कसरी ट्याकल गर्न चाहिँ बेटर केपेबल बनाउने भनेर चाहिँ यू क्यान फेस मेन्टल हेल्थ इस्युज बेटर बट द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज एक्नोलेजिङ द्याट दे एक्जिस्ट वुड यू एग्री
Exactly. Yes, I agree totally. And just to reiterate what you said, just one thing. Also, when you think you are not functioning normally, I think you should seek help. Okay? And later we have so many helplines. You can direct. You don't even need to face anybody directly if you have that kind of stigma, of not being able to face somebody. You can take help through helplines, and then there are so many organizations who are working only in psychosocial counseling. One organization which I happen to work with is called TPO. It's called Transcultural Psychosocial Organization. They have this helpline. They have so many materials where you can read about depression, about stress. There are tests to be taken to see what level of depression you are in. So I think the number one thing what you said is very correct. We need to identify when we need to seek help. This is the only
Absolutely.
mantra to prevent further deterioration.
Absolutely. I think you सबै resources that I'd like to compile it र यो सेसनको रिभ्युज हुन्छ मैले राख्ने गरेको छु just before the next session त्यसमा पनि राख्ने नै छु. Doctor, thank you so much for your time. Any last words to the audience before you take a leave?
Thank you so much, Anushka. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. And I'd like to thank all our audience and who've sent all these the questions, which are so interesting. I hope I get to meet you again. And bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So that was Dr. Archana Amatya र उहाँबाट धेरै नै कुरा सिक्न पायौँ हामीले अबाउट हाम्रो हेल्थ सिस्टम इन नेपाल हामी कता थियौँ कता आइसकेका छौँ र अब हामी कता जाँदैछौँ भनेर पनि आम श्योर तपाईँले पनि धेरै कुरा सिक्न पाउनुभयो होला थ्याङ्क यू फर सोइङ अल द लभ टु द रिकनेक्टिङ सिरिज वन्स अगेन यो सिरिज चाहिँ रहेको छ तपाईँ हामी जस्तै नेपाली युवालाई आजको नेपाल कसरी फङ्सन गर्छ भनेर नेपाललाई अझ नजिकेर चिन्ने प्रयास रहेको छ यो दिस इज अ हम्बल अटेम्प्ट र इन लाइट अफ एभ्रिथिङ द्याट इज ह्यापनिङ वी आर अल्सो युजिङ द रिकनेक्टिङ platform to gather your love. तपाईहरुले जुन चाहिँ रिकनेक्टिङको मार्फत हामीले not just daily wage workers, there are most communities impacted like हामीले food relief packages दिइरहेको छौं. The response has really been overwhelming. तपाईहरुले देखाउनु भएको माया देखेर नै राम्रो रहेको छ. आज भर्खर पनि हामीले 50 packages that distribute गरेका छौं र अहिलेसम्म हामीले 270 food relief packages that distribute गरिसकेका छौं. Tomorrow we're doing 150 more. If you would like to be part of helping out the communities in Nepal that have been affected by the pandemic, यस महामारीले चाहिँ असर पारेका समुदायहरुलाई सहयोग गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने देखि तपाई नेपाल भित्र बस्नु भएको छ भने तपाईले IME पे एप डाउनलोड गरेर सहयोग गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ र नेपाल बाहिर बस्नु भएको छ भने देखि nepalrising.org/anushka मा गएर डोनेट गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ त्यो लिंकहरु म सोशल मिडियामा राख्ने नै छु. If you are residing within Nepal, you can contribute towards helping communities affected by the pandemic via the IME Pay app, and you can contribute through nepalrising.org/anushka if you are outside of Nepal. Thank you once again who have found this content relevant for all the lovely messages to all our audiences that joined us live from everywhere, and we have done with our 4th episode out here. Our final 5th episode, it will be out soon. I will be posting updates on my social media. A very big thank you to everyone that has made this program possible despite of all these restrictions, to the technical team, to the media team that are helping pull this together. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.